Hey there, it's Troy Ernst from Bridgewater Honda. I'd like to take a moment to show you the brand new 2022 Honda Passport Trailsport. The Trailsport is a new trim across various Honda models. It's more of a rugged, it's got some off-road all-season tires, everything's blacked out, it's got custom stitched interior to it. It is a beautiful vehicle, and if you notice with the Passports this year, they redesigned the front end, give it a very nice aggressive grille to the front of it. Take a little walk around, show things off. It's got front and rear parking sensors, LED side marker lights, roof rails. Come around to the back now. They're all push button start, and they've all got remote start as well as power tailgate. See the beautiful dual exhaust in the back here. Now the Passport itself is built off the same platform as the Honda Pilot. So it's the larger size SUV, but a 5-seater versus the 7 or 8. So you've got a ton of cargo space in the back here. Beautiful trunk tray in the back, as well as some more cargo storage underneath. And if you need to lay your seats down to put even more in, it's as simple as push of a button. The seats will go down 60-40 split. Put the seat back down, we'll come around to the side here. I'll just put the seat back up to show some of the massive amounts of rear room in this. I mean, I'm 6'4" and I pulled this vehicle around, and there is still tons of rear leg room. You can see an example of the custom leather stitching that's on the Trailsport trim with the orange stitching that kind of pops out on the black leather. It's got rear climate control as well as rear heated seats to go along with the front heated seats. Come across to the front here and show it off. See, beautiful interior. It's got the all-weather rubber mats. It's got the stitching on the seats that I mentioned, that orange stitching that's exclusive to the Trailsport trim, as well as the leather-wrapped steering wheel, heated steering wheel as well, which is very nice. So how about we take it for a spin? So before we go for our drive, I'll show you some of the great features from this side of the interior. There's that leather-wrapped heated steering wheel that I mentioned with a nice perforated grip on it. Beautiful hands-free controls for your audio, for your Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as cruise control, heated steering wheel, and a lot of great safety features for when you're driving on cruise. And down this way, of course, with the Econ button, but parking sensors, lane departure warnings, collision mitigation radar built into it, heated windshield wiper and lane departure warning, and then of course the traction control as well. Let's take it for a spin. So just a couple extra features to show in the interior here. This trim has the driver seat position memory setting, so when you get in you can set it to driver 1 or driver 2, and depending which key fob you use, they're actually marked with driver 1 or 2 on the back, so it'll automatically detect your key fob and go to your preferred settings. Automatic lights and automatic fog lights. Now this also has automatic high-low beams, so when you're driving at night and you put your high beams on the first time, the camera that reads the lines in the road here will also detect vehicles and dim your lights for you. Like I mentioned before, hands-free, so you've got all your controls for your audio, your Bluetooth, your cruise control. It also has a paddle shifter setting, so that if you want to go from drive to sport mode, you can actually control your shift points on the vehicle yourself. It's kind of like having a manual vehicle, but no clutch to have to press that every time. It's got different driving conditions, so you can actually control it. It's all-wheel drive, and it will react fantastically for you no matter the conditions. But if you want to preset it like normal, snow, mud, or sand, it'll actually change up the responsiveness and the shift points, so it'll actually perform way better for you. It's got a beautiful push-button shifter on it, as well as the touchscreen itself. It's a nice tablet style, so you can sit there and you can customize and move around your little blocks and your little apps and widgets that you want to use. And of course, backup camera and blind spot monitoring system, as well as a rear cross traffic monitor will warn you if people are driving by you when you're backing up, so you don't run into somebody. So let's go for a drive. Now, I have to say that the Passport is actually my favorite vehicle in the whole Honda lineup. It's got a beautiful 3.5 liter 6-cylinder engine in it. very good fuel economy. Excuse my phone there, it just dinged at me. Alrighty. We ran in every bit of traffic possible pulling out there. So of course, right off the bat, we run into a little construction here, but great time to demonstrate some of the safety features. So now I mentioned before, this has the lane departure warning. So when the lane departure warning is turned on, basically for 40 kilometers an hour and over, that camera that I mentioned that's up here that reads the lines in the road, if you drift out of your lane without the blinker or the brake, it'll actually thump like rumble strips and give you a warning to let you know. And it also has the collision mitigation braking system. So there's a radar located in the front of the vehicle. And let's say somebody brakes too quick in front of you, cuts out in front of you, or you're just not paying attention. There's a beautiful deer off in the field and you're staring at it. If you come up on an object too fast, it's going to first warn you to brake. And if you don't respond fast enough, it'll disengage your accelerator and put the brake on for you. It's about mitigating a collision. Now, there's no way to completely avoid a collision. You know, cars aren't quite that smart yet, but it's about making it less of an impact. If any of you can hear my phone, yes, I am a Star Wars fan. Just a beautiful drive in the Passport. Like I mentioned, it's one of my favorite vehicles in the lineup. It is my favorite vehicle. Great towing capacity as well. You can tow up to 5,000 pounds with it. So one of my favorite things about all the Honda vehicles is they're all equipped with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So if you're not familiar, basically if you're an Android user or you have an Apple phone, you plug your vehicle in, you plug your phone into the vehicle, and a lot of the newer ones are coming with wireless options for it now as well. It'll mirror your phone's features just up into the screen. Select CarPlay or Android Auto approved apps. It's as easy as just touching the button on your steering wheel now to prompt your assistant, whether it's Google Assistant or Siri. Ask her to bring up something on your maps, to plot you a route, to send a friend or family member a text, or just to make a phone call, or even play something from your playlist. It's as easy as just the spoken word now. You don't have to take your hands off the steering wheel, and it's a very safe and fantastic option for all kinds of features in your vehicle. So on the Passport Trailsport, you've got auto dimming rear view mirror, but there's also buttons built into here as well if you have garage door openers at home. 3 buttons for 3 doors that you can easily program to sync with your garage door opener. And of course you got a sunroof. Beautiful sunny day out today. So one thing you'll notice as well is the seating. Not only do they have the nice orange stitching to go with the black leather, but they're captain style seats. So they've got the armrest and they are very comfortable. Power seats as well. And it does have an inflatable and deflatable lumbar support for anybody who's got a bad back like I do. Coming up to a school zone, so we'll just have to slow down a little bit. So we're just coming up to the highway here so we can test it out at highway speed. So you'll always notice Hondas are very smooth driving vehicles. It's because they have a feature called Vehicle Stability Assist, which basically, where this is an all-wheel drive vehicle, it'll flutter the brakes for all 4 wheels kind of without you even realizing, just to make sure that you're staying straight, that when you go around a turn you don't understeer or oversteer any. Tramp her down a little. No, we won't do that too much, but I did want to show you it's got incredible power on this vehicle. And it's quite a windy day today, and even on the highway, the wind is not moving this vehicle around at all. They're a very stable driving vehicle. So I know I mentioned about the safety features earlier, and that was when you're driving 40 kilometers an hour and over, or the collision radar and such. Now there's extra safety features that are specifically designed for higher speeds and on the highway. One of them is, it's called adaptive cruise control. So if I were to turn on my cruise and then press the side button here, you'll notice a series of bars that count down every time I press it. Those are units of distance. Now we like to say car lengths, but that actually changes the unit of distance depending on the speed that you're going. So that's a great feature. So if I have my cruise control set to say 100 kilometers an hour, and I've got it set to the 3 units of distance, and I come up to a vehicle that's only doing 80, it'll automatically detect that vehicle and actually slow to match the speed at that safe distance. So I never have to hit the brake. I never have to press resume on my cruise control. The moment that I go to pass, or if that person turns off in front of me, I'll automatically resume my preset speed. The other great feature is, earlier that I'd mentioned there was a feature for lane departure warning. So basically 40 kilometers an hour and over, if you drift out of your lane, it will thump like rumble strips and warn you. But right here, if I press this, it's got 2 rows of blocks. Now they appear solid right now because it's successfully reading the lines in the road. This is for 72 kilometers an hour and over. So basically it's the highway version, and the biggest difference is, as I'm driving along, if I were to drift out of my lane without the blinker or the brake, it's going to warn me and actually correct me into my lane. So it'll actually keep you from steering out of your lane. It'll gently correct you back in to keep you from crossing the center line, or for going over the other line and into the ditch. It's a great feature for long drives, or to keep you from becoming distracted and accidents happening. Now, with all these features for the lane correction I mentioned about without the blinker or the brake, a vehicle, they're pretty smart now, but of course they don't know which side you're on. So if you pull out to pass, proper etiquette would mean blinker on to pass, blinker on to pull back in again. Because the vehicle doesn't know what side you're on, it just sees lines. So of course if you wanted to not give you that little bit of a tug, or warn you because you're actually pulling out to pass or pulling off, use your blinker, or make sure to have your foot on the brake gently. So speaking of pull off to pass, we're actually just coming up to the exit up here. Cut across here, we'll come back to the dealership. So in addition to earlier when I mentioned that this has got the rear climate control settings, you can actually control the rear climate control settings from up here as well. So let's say you don't want the kids playing around with it too much, you can lock them out, or you can choose to control the settings so that you don't have them freezing themselves or sweltering everybody in the car as a result. So the Honda Passport actually has the highest ride height of any of the Honda vehicles. So if you're looking for something that's going to be a family vehicle, a multi-purpose vehicle, but also something that you can take off-road or take into some uneven surfaces, I guess is the best way to saying it, the Passport is one of your best options because of the ride height. Yeah, you can tell we're getting close again because there's the construction. All right, so we just skipped past the construction part there because it was a little prolonged and boring, but we're back to the dealership now, just pulling in, and I really appreciate you coming with for the test drive again. Love this vehicle, the 2022 Honda Passport Trailsport, which is a new trim. Absolutely love it. And here's another great feature. Just as I parked here, it's telling me to check rear seats. So this is something new to the Passport as well as some other trims, especially the new Civic. It's got the rear seatbelt reminder. So it'll actually warn you to check the rear seats, as well as if anybody unbuckles their seatbelts in the back. Usually it's in the front. When people undo their seatbelts, you're used to it giving a warning. But it'll do so in the back now as well, which also makes it a great family vehicle just in case the kids undo their seatbelts. So let's get out and have one more quick look at the vehicle. All right, so that was our test drive of the 2022 Honda Passport Trailsport. I hope you enjoyed the information. I look forward to hearing back. Come see myself or the rest of the team here at Bridgewater Honda to learn more.